added bonus of having not only armor reduction with Wave of Tear, but also Vengeance Aura. So it's that aura kind of strat that that does a lot of work. I would not be shocked if Friends decided to go for even more aura later on down the road if they wanted to, like maybe even Beastmaster or something like that if it's available. But we'll see.
Fnatic banning out the Invoker this time around. Friends banning out the Inch. Okay, so they don't want to be dealing with DJ roaming around, obviously.
DJ's game earlier today.
And that's actually what's been, I feel, punishing the Drow Ranger a bit, is like, at least like Navi's comes to my mind, like when they have like that Chen or the Enchantress or something, and they like do this like dual aggro or something, and just kind of run at the Drow and just don't let him free farm.
Yeah, I mean, really anything that can shove the lane and force the Drow Ranger to just operate under a tower where she is very vulnerable to dives early on, I think is a good option.
Faceless Void can't really do that though.
Nope.
Even with +1, I still think it's very weak.
Yeah, they did it with like the Slardar though, like Slardar, Chen, Slardar.
Yeah, I think Slardar actually has way more kill potential on Drow.
Yeah,
big time.
Sure.
What are you going to do?
Double bash them. That's what Moon did at Summit. Moon double bashed people and killed them. And it was a Drow actually.
That's ridiculous. The double time lock proc.
Interesting that Fnatic are the ones themselves. I guess it does combo up well with Drow, but interesting that Fnatic are the ones themselves to take out the Mirana, who combos very, very well with the Faceless Void.
I don't know. I don't know if they play it. I'm not sure if that's a hero they run. I mean, God, Mushi runs everything, so I would imagine so. But I mean,
I guess they just didn't want to deal with the like Drow Ranger with a core ranged hero in the mid lane, and the Mirana is like the most prominent, the one that at least has like the best win rate in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and like it helps the main problem with the Mirana. Just the wet noodle right clicks that she has early on in the game are pretty much. It's just gone. I wouldn't say all gone, but you at least get some extra damage coming out.
There we go.
Yeah, like we mentioned, getting one of those Chen or Enchantress to put the pressure on the Drow Ranger. The timing window. Like Drow wants to get that free farm. You want to get your Dragonlance quite early, or your lifesteal into your Dragonlance/Yasha. But Chen can set the pace of the game, set the tempo in that early game.
Yeah, so, you mentioned the Navi blueprint for playing against Drow Ranger, and here it is right away, where you don't take that Chen in greedy jungle. You take the Chen and you play in the opponent's jungle, and just make that Drow's life miserable.
There is the Riki, yeah.
But the Riki loses some of his. The thing is, the Riki loses a little bit of his value here when you're not really going to be disrupting the Chen in his own jungle. He's going to be up in your jungle anyway with an army of creeps.
I think it's really nice defensively though, and I think you can easily kill the Faceless Void with a smoke cloud.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I think like all you need to do is get vision of the Chen. You don't like. You just need to make sure that you know where he is at all points in time.
Because that's mostly going to come out at like, you know, what, 3-4 minutes or something like that, and he's going to head up to the lane and look for some pressure. He might not even smoke. He might head up there earlier and invade the jungle. I mean, there's just, keeping tabs on the Chen is I think,
if that's
pretty important thing.
Maybe
if
not
that's
grabbing
your thinking, though, you could grab a Beastmaster and get the Hawk. Right?
Yeah, maybe not grabbing the Riki here, but it's definitely an idea that they can keep in mind.
The Beastmaster Hawks for the offlane. I want them to protect the safe lane, and they need to protect the Drow Ranger. Or they should.
I know this is going to be greedy of me to ask, but and it's obviously not going to happen this game. But one time I would like to see a Fnatic DJ Enigma at some point.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to see it.
No, not this game. No, definitely not this game. I'm not implying we'll see.
Right.
I'm not implying we'll see this game, but at some point in time would be nice to see.
I think we'd all like that.
Anything you guys feel that, so the one thing as friends now, Fnatic has shown their cards in terms of both of their supports. Anything in the field that you guys feel punishes these two supports?
Storm maybe?
Storm's decent.
Even though RTZ won with that hero, I'm
not sold either.
Yeah,
I'm not sold on it.
I'm not. That's a hero that is...
Oh, yep, that's one.
That's a good one.
Counteracts both of the heals, more damage potential.
Chen's just like, please don't hit my team.
Boy, you wanted something that was going to lock down that safe lane. That is basically an impregnable defensive trial lane.
Yeah.
Well,
killing touch, wave of tear, vengeance, or right click from Drought.
You can kind of get overrun a little bit, but
that's so much damage.
It's so much damage, but if you're like positioned improperly, but it also locks you into like a tri lane.
I mean, they're also kind of squishy.
Bench can kind of move around.
They're also kind of squishy as well.
Yeah.
So that is something that you have to be aware of. So
it is a triple range tri lane with Drow and AA though, so it is like balancing an absurd amount of damage.
It is. If you're positioned, like you said, if you're positioning correctly, you get caught out, all of a sudden you might be dying very quickly. And with Test of Faith, obviously the big nuke that is, with Maledict, Cask, if the Witch Doctor decides to rotate. What do you think about a tri-lane, aggressive tri-lane, I should say, from Friends, aggro tri-lane with this? I know it's 3 ranged heroes and they're a bit squishy, but
I think the one of the few heroes that work for that is like maybe like a
well, that's not what I expected.
Whoa.
High armor.
The Fnatic special.
Do they want to? I mean, yeah, the Fnatic special. Do they want to punish the timings a bit with like the Chen and the Tower Blade push, take a lot of towers down versus the Drow Ranger, hinder their opportunity to go for that Roshan and Invasion?
I think they actually just want. I think.
Or do they just want it
for 5-on-5?
Yeah, okay, that's true as well.
Like you just meta, you just slay people during Faceless Void. You can.
I hope you don't get gusted, kind of.
I don't think you care about Gust. It's not going to slow your illusions down from this.
No, I mean, like, if you get gusted though when you're low enough HP and you don't get your Sunder off, that's. I mean, you're dead, so...
Well, he has, like, absurd amounts of armor, so, like, they can't really get him into critical HP range, even with AA Blast.
So, I like this, because I think the thought process for the TB might have been, all right, Friends looks like they've committed to something that's fairly defensive, and so we can get away with Faceless Void and Terrorblade, 2 cores that can be punished during the laning phase. I think they might decide to maybe even turn this around. And show a little aggression early on.
Yeah, I like the Axe a lot.
Is this going to be off-lane Axe then?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you think that what's the likelihood of 2-1-2 coming out from Friends in this situation?
What I'm wondering.
You needed like a defensive support with Axe, like a Warlock or Dazzle or Abba, like we saw last game. I think like he really struggles with the offensive support just because he needs to sustain and he can do all the damage by himself. I think it's good setup with the AA. It's also very good at getting Terrorblade to that low HP range where he can shatter.
Here's one more question for you though. Remember, this is a CIS team, and are we going to see possibly a core Venge brought back? Because I could see them turning around for a defensive support for the last pick.
I
think
that's like a FNG special. No, the FNG's not there anymore.
That's fair enough.
I would like to see them pick up another physical damage dealer though.
Yeah. I agree. I mean,
the Tower Blade does tank up through it.
Yeah,
or a heavy classic.
That's good.
Okay,
that's good.
Or a high burst nuker, which can work pretty well.
I like the mobility too.
Yeah, we saw a rather difficult Queen of Pain game today earlier, but definitely a classic G hero. He struggled a bit on it earlier today.
Viper time?
Viper time.
Let's do it.
Benefits.
Right.
Yeah, Quap benefits a lot from the Drow aura.
Viper picker.
No, Fnatic are a bunch of Viper pickers, dude.
Yeah, they are.
It's not.
Viper pickers unite. That hero needs to get cosmetics. We need to get on it, man. Viper deserves some love.
I don't know if you want Viper here though. I don't know if he's like gonna be tanky enough. He matches up well versus Queen, but
against A, maybe not. Against A might be troublesome, and all of the damage.
There's a lot of pure damage.
Pure, yeah.
And a lot of
physical. Yeah, exactly. Magical damage is really, corrosive skin is great, but I don't think it's really going to help you as much as usual in this game if you're a Viper. So I don't know if it's the best pickup against a Quap, although you probably do just win your lane if you're a Viper in this situation. Okay, that's Alina.
Couldn't have really guessed that one.
Poor Alina. This is going back to meta's past with this.
This is a big change.
I mean, Lina mid matchup.
That's one way to blow up squishy heroes.
Mushy Lina.
You just Laguna Blade them and they're essentially dead. So you have that going for you. I guess.
Good AoE team fight too. Like they're kind of lacking that. Witch Doctor Faceless Void is like okay, but you need some damage to throw in. Lina's a nice compliment.
All right, Merlini, what do you think, buddy? Who you got for game 2? We gonna see game 3 in this series?
I like Friends draft a lot. I think they have like so much burst to deal with the Terror Blade, and of course they have the Drow Ranger and generally favorite Drow Ranger lineups. So I'm with Friends.
I think I gotta go Friends too. I think they just have a much better drafting concept here, and their lineup is fairly easy to execute this time. So with that said, let's see if Fnatic can push this game out to finish this series, or if Friends will give us a game 3. Off to our casters, Mott and Fogged.
Yeah, guys, we're over here on the other couch casting Friends versus Fnatic game number 2. Friends having a pretty spectacular run right now through the lower bracket, taking down some big name teams. And of course, Friends, a team that's not invited to TI. So again, they're kind of the gatekeeper before TI arrives. And of course, with this second game, we'll see if they can bring it back to even. But Fogged, do you want to get your thoughts on, of course, the drafts and your really just who you think is going to come out on top here? Hopefully no fight breaks out in the meantime, but
I I also really like Friends draft, like Ben was saying too. It's a Drow lineup, you kind of have to favor it. However, I'm just going to keep an eye on DJ. I think he can dictate the pace of this game, like we were mentioning the Chen, and he's had such good performances, so I think it's going to be a lot of weight on DJ's shoulders this early game.
It often is for a Chen rotating early and trying to find those kills is huge, and we'll see how it plays out for the Chen in this, of course, jungle for the time being. Yoku sitting nearby, sitting with 8 tangos and a stout shield. No wards placed down? I don't believe so. I think there's one at the entrance of the jungle. Sentry placed down. That might block the camp. This one doesn't. This one's just getting vision. It's actually, well, it does block that camp barely though. Look at that. It's right on the edge there, so keep an eye on the bottom lane, obviously, and then see who they send down bottom. If they want to go for an aggressive try lane, maybe do a solo safe lane. If they want to do any kind of interesting laning setups, there's a couple of heroes heading down bottom, though, right now, Fogged.
Yeah, it looks like they are going for that aggro, like you were mentioning. They're going to be putting the... Wait a minute. Who's going... Okay, so put Quaps.
What?
No one's safe? Okay, you're gonna TP up. I was like, what?
Yoku's like, I'm not supposed to be here, guys.
They wanted to just know the lanes before they actually made their first move.
I'm in your way.
Interesting.
Ohio pulled the creep wave, something we've seen Nature's Prophets do, or not Nature's Prophets, rather Faceless Voids, although Furions have done it too, but Voids do in the past. So Yoku will now start with just going ahead and using his counter helixes on the creep wave, and Metamorphosis used immediately by mid one just to make sure that he could CS and have a good start. Maximus will go. They have some good damage. There's the cast bouncing through. Always want to fly will take some hits, and now they'll turn their attention to Aloha Dance, but mid one getting a little bit low. Even with all of that armor, which by the way is 10, is still not enough to bring him down, and of course, they just had the match missile come off cooldown there.
Cool approach by Friends. This is what some teams have been doing in response to the Tower Blade. Oh my god, is he gonna get him? Almost gets him.
Always want to fly, will take a couple of tower hits, the cask will bounce through, and Salve will come out from mid one. Vengeful Spirit will stay alive as well. DJ finally, well not finally, he just gets a Centaur Conqueror, he'll smoke up, he's only level 1, so he only has Holy Persuasion, and he'll look towards what I imagine to be this bottom lane, and in fact, he's just going to walk straight in.
I like this approach of doing the aggro tri lane though. It's been working quite nicely versus Tower Blades lately. And now we do see, DJ, this is the perfect response here. See if they read it. They do. Are they going to get anybody here?
Or Aloha Dance. Cask will come in, won't bounce, but they do get the Centaur Conqueror stomp. Here's the Reflection, which is a nice slow, and we'll see if it's enough.
Blocks.
And they have it. Good Fairy Fire, and he will survive the end of the day. And it looks like no one will end up falling here. Both Witch Doctor and the Vengeful Spirit were about to die, but they'll successfully stay alive. And no global for either of the sides to kill.
Both live with one hit. Yeah, very nice.
Top lane. Ohio, ooh, good counter helix. He does time walk off that damage. That's the void for you. Although, of course, level 1 time walk, long cooldown, so has to be a little bit more careful for the time being. But this mid matchup is an interesting one. Mushi's playing the Lina, and a hero that we don't see that often anymore. And Quap as well, not that picked as often. So it's an interesting matchup, but I want to get your thoughts on it, Fogged.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see who this actually benefits the most with this lane setup. Like, I think it actually does benefit Friends again, even though the Drow's hindered a bit on the CS department. They're gonna get their Axe free farming instead of him being crippled a bit in that off lane. So him getting really good timings on his items, I think it actually does benefit them.
And we saw what an Axe can do, even in the support position played by Puppy earlier today in that secret game, which was, by the way, fantastic. So many 2-man, 3-man calls. It was actually impressive. D-Ward's coming out. It looks like they will take down a couple of sentries as well. I think it was an Observer Ward. It went down to the north a little bit for, I believe, Friends. I'm not sure, though. But G and Mushi will go toe-to-toe. Dragon Slave putting him below half HP. He does have bottle charges, not to mention a Fairy Fire. And a lot of trades happening in terms of damage, but just general CSing right now. And on the top of that CS chart, of course, is going to be the Axe. No surprises there. And then the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, mid one. Definitely spotted. I always want to fly there. Shouldn't get caught out here by the stun. But he wants the CS so bad.
I mean,
it gets denied.
I mean, he wants the CS so bad right now. He's sitting at A last hits. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you can. The Drow strategy, aggressive tri lane, is doing some okay work. Again, we talked about aggressive tri lanes. In this tri lane, is it enough to just stop his farm, or do you need to kill him and the supports a couple of times to make this work?
I think it's just enough stopping his farm. The only thing is that they're like splitting the levels on the Drow Ranger, which kind of stinks for the edgy aura, but not the worst situation here. And now, wow, this Harpy is actually putting in so much work right now.
Chain Lightning against Squishy Heroes is very strong. Although it will fall with one more right click, maybe two. It looks like it will require two, but Aloha Dance. And they give him one more of those Chain Lightnings for good measure.
Doesn't give you too much to kill that, but obviously you have to because it can push you out of the lane, really mess up your farming. But this is perfect for them right now, winning pretty much 3 lanes.
Yeah, they have the Axe doing super well top. Bottom lane is getting crushed in the mid lane. Of course, the CS is in favor right now of the Queen of Pain. However, this can all change. It's only 4.5 minutes into the game, and you know, have to be careful. And again, Metamorphosis is back up, so if Fnatic can find the right opening, they can find an initiation perhaps. Or...
Yeah, like we mentioned, it's really like up to DJ with his movements to dictate what's going to be happening.
Yeah, this Chen, level 2 now, so he does have Test of Faith and level 1 Test of Faith. Not the most damage in the world, but has potential to be a good nuke. And we'll see if he decides to head mid or to that bottom lane. Obviously, mid very difficult to gank with the Queen of Pain on the other side for Friends.
He's super underleveled on the Chen too, though, because of like that missed first movement. He's only level 2 on the Chen rather than like level 3 or something, or 4 even at 5 minutes.
This is not a particularly great start for Fnatic right now, but
not the ideal, indeed.
No. But again, we've seen worse starts for teams, and they've come back from, and Fnatic especially, they've come back from really bad situations even in this tournament. So we'll see if they, I mean, they haven't lost anybody yet. There's not been a kill. You see Wave of Terror will go into Seder Torment, but here comes Metamorphosis and No Fear, and of course Aloha Dance is just getting destroyed. Maledict will come out, the cast came through, 343 gets first blood, but there's the Sonic Wave blowing up the Terror Blade as he was Metamorphosis, and unfortunately he couldn't get away in time, and G made a quick rotation down there.
Not even sure if he needed to blow the Sonic Wave there. I'm pretty sure they had him without it, but just wanted to make sure of it. But yeah, very over-committed from the Drow Ranger to get just a Seder creep, and he just ends up paying with his life for it. Nice little trade for Fnatic, but yeah, also a nice movement from G, just maybe over-committing a little bit with that Sonic Wave.
So they do get on the board, Fnatic does, but of course the death coming out for the Terror Blade, obviously. Again, only 13 last hits, and he didn't get the first blood, he got the assist.
Oh, and
Cask, No Fear, he's gonna try to TP out, and looks like he might be able to make it away. The Thunderclap's not gonna be there in time from DJ, and the Test of Faith was already used. And G does fall the Queen of Pain in the river. When I think it was, of course, from that Thunderclap, or Test of Faith, excuse me, from DJ.
Yeah, I guess he got like caught up with the Mushi stun into Laguna Blade. I guess he just didn't see him coming around the corner trying to go for that bottom rune greedily. But this stack is also a huge problem here. Yoku looks like he was going for that Vanguard first item, which he's gonna have soon, and then he's gonna be able to farm that Blink. But Mushi now identifies, he definitely has his buddy Ohio telling him, hey man, there's a massive stack. We have to do something about this huge stack here.
There was a ward covering that top rune spot over. You can see it, the river always want to fly. Reflection is up. You can see the damage coming out from the right click. It's enough now. Aloha Dance might be in trouble. Looks like the Yoku will be okay in the top lane for the time being. He does pick up that Vanguard, as you mentioned, but they do lose the Vengeful Spirit bottom, and so Fnatic, what they're not getting in kills, they're making up, or not getting in CS, they're making up with kills for the time being. But here we go. You can see it, Yoku. Mushi's still in Viz. Here's Aloha Dance. They're chasing after Ohio. They get the call up. He does have Chronosphere. Good Guts coming in. G's arrived as well, and they get the Calling Blade. The chop comes in. Yoku will get the job done, and Mushi just bailed. He didn't even he didn't even attempt to try to go for a kill there.
Yeah, they saw him pick up that Invis rune. They rotate properly with G, and Yoku not only gets his Vanguard and the kill, but also cleans up that triple stack there. So Vanguard had just been completed up, and I'm pretty sure he's sitting on another, what, 800, 900 gold on this Axe.
This Yoku Axe is going to be wealthy to start things off. Not to mention both him as well as the Queen of Pain, who've had a, well, besides the death for the Quap, they've had a pretty good start, but Drow Ranger, 35 CS, I think 1 death for her as well. And we'll see how Friends do transition this into mid-game, but for now, Fnatic will push into the Tier 1 tower down bottom. And with Metamorphosis, it's pretty hard to contest or even think about denying this.
Yeah, not sure if their aggro tri-lane really worked out entirely in the favor that they wanted it to, but at least they hindered the Terror Blade a bit and got their Axe like super farmed, so.
Yep. The Terror Blade is, however, up to 30 CS, tied alongside that of Lina, Mushi, who I haven't checked out in a while. I want to see Mushi and see how he's doing. Just getting raindrops, boots, Null, finishing up his wand. G on the other side, of course, with some good farm as well, but he has his full set of treads. That's the difference maker there. And of course, G getting that kill down bottom was, I think, the primary reason why.
They even had some stacks in the jungle now for Yoku, so even more accelerated farm for the Axe.
Wow, Vanguard, 1,400 gold already.
Yeah, level 9 too, before the 9-minute mark.
I mean, he's going to clear out a couple more jungle camps, and they're going to find a very early Blink Dagger timing. Maybe they could push down the tower as well. Yeah. Oh, Ancient's even better. He's got a Vanguard, for God's sakes. Let's put it to good use.
And I mean, I think that's like the best place for him to farm too, because nobody else can really utilize the Ancients just yet. The Drow needs a little bit more items to be able to do that. And it opens up the jungle and the safe lane for the Drow Ranger to farm.
We often consider Drow to be an early game hero, as the Witch Doctor does bring down always want to fly the Vengeful Spirit in the top lane with, I think, Gask and, of course, the Maldic. But, you know, I think Drow Ranger is now more associated with that mid-game to late-game oriented type of hero, whereas it used to be like, okay, we have to hit this timing, we have to be pushing down towers. You can do that still, and you can be successful in doing so. But the late-game potential now is a lot better for a Drow Ranger than it used to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Aghanim Scepter being a big reason why, with Mjolnir obviously is a very strong build.
These new, like the new items, Dragonlance's positioning, letting you position yourself on like the low ground without being hit by towers, just like tons of different things, just changing up the way the heroes are played. And Skeleton trying to block the Ancient stack, and it does.
And the Illusion as well. They put some heavy hate on this Ancient stack. And I don't blame them. Yoku is sitting right now probably about 1,600 gold at this point, top of the net worth, and second only, or rather Queen of Pain second only to the Axe himself. And there it is. He finishes off the Ancient stack rather quickly with level 4 counter Helix and Blink Dagger, not to mention extra 200 gold. They will lose the tier 1 tower potentially. They actually have no glyph, but it is being pressured now, and we'll see if they do decide to rotate up there, as Bushi's just trying to push this wave out as quickly as possible. But it's a pretty good start, all things considered, for Friends, Yannis.
Yeah, the Drow is a little bit hindered because of the lane setup that they did, but the Axe is super accelerated because of it. Yep. So it's a trade-off that you have to make.
I'm excited to see what Yoku can do with this Blink Dagger. Smoke is going to come, and they're going to reveal it now. Counter smoke from Fnatic, and they're going to... Blink Call is available, but he's instead going to avoid it. He will get out of course, the Chronosphere, which is put down by Ohio. No Fear will get caught. He brought down, of course, that very squishy Ancient Apparition, but a good Sonic Wave, and they will find 343 as well with that damage. The Shadow Strike to finish it off. Mushi will come and throw up a Dragon Slave trying to push them back. Doesn't hit anybody with it. And Yoku doesn't even need his Blink Dagger. They have plenty of damage just from G alone. There's a lot of damage coming out from him.
Yeah, both teams smoking at the same time. Not really the most fortunate Chrono, catching only the one hero, of course. But even then, Fnatic's positioning, they didn't have Lina for the Chronosphere. They don't have the damage to burst a hero down in it. I can understand they were trying to smoke to their Terrorblade, but mid one now getting gone on with the Axe. The call, a blast on top. Should just be okay right now.
Laguna Blade, No Fear still alive though. They're gonna chase in. There's the Sunder. Yoku is still in trouble. There's the Hand of God. He's about to go down the Reflection and one more right click. Meanwhile, mid one doing smart. Triple kill comes out with 36 HP. Mid one somehow survives and gets a great Sunder off, and then dishes out the damage. Boy, he killed everything that he saw. They even, well, it looks like Friends will find DJ at the very least in the jungle. And then there's the Death Horde coming out from the Witch Doctor, and so it's 4 dead for Friends at the end of the day.
That was actually absolutely ridiculous. That like changes the whole entire dynamic of the game. The fact that they don't get that kill there, he gets the Sunder off, the Chen pops the heal, saves his life, lives with 30 HP. I thought for sure he was dead there from the burst, but nope, the Axe Cole just misses from that Sunder.
Again,
it's huge, oh my god, huge swing of momentum.
We talked about Terrorblade and the amount of armor he has, and obviously the damage from the counter helixes are pure, but he's just maybe not getting the procs that he was looking for with the Axe, unfortunately. So that does give a lot of gold over to Fnatic, who were pretty behind at one point. I think if we look at the graph, there should be, you know, actually it was even, and they have a 3,000 network lead now.
Gold, map control, everything. Like the Chrono was expended before that fight even happened, and then the Fnatic just gets like, kind of gets it like not handed to them, but in a way, yeah, like that's just unbelievable that really just happened. Absolutely game changing.
No ward there, so it will not be spotted, and looks like Friends will reset and try to go again, make something happening this time, and we'll look for a bit of a better fight. Metamorphosis should be up pretty soon, but perhaps not just yet. Chronosphere is available. Metamorphosis up in 18. Dragonlance now done for Terrorblade.
He's more than caught up. Like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
This would be such a good call from Yoku. He sees them. He's not going in though. They've already spread out, as you can see. He's looking for it. Blink Call only onto 1. Ice Blast will come through. Chrono onto 2, but Ohio just heads towards the Axe, and instead they use the Laguna Blade, and he's still alive towards the end of the engagement, but finally will fall. Dead for 44. Now No Fear pops up the stick charge, trying to keep himself alive, and it looks like he will. They get the cutoff, but it's only on Mushi. Time dilation to slow, and now f.r.i.e.n.d.s is in trouble, getting chased down. Ohio coming in looking for a bash. Good match, missile. G throwing up a stun, or excuse me,
oh my
pain,
God.
but he takes so much damage from the LSA into Dragon Slave. f.r.i.e.n.d.s still getting chased down. There's no tier 1 tower. Gets the bash, and Mushi gets himself a double kill as well. And Fnatic are now rolling. Whatever disadvantages they had at the early stages of this game are now gone, Fogged. Absolutely gone.
I'm a bit speechless, not gonna lie. The last like 3 minutes is absurd.
Good ice blast, but
DJ gets clipped by it. He's not gonna tick down, but he's gonna get very low. This Aetherline's pickup by Mushi too is really cool. His nukes just did so much damage there. It's like you could see G-Jack got completely bursted down, not even expecting it either.
Yep. And so Fnatic, despite the ice blast, will be successful in taking Roshan. Not only that, but getting to probably more than a 5, at this point, a 5 to 7.5k net worth advantage. G will get Laguna bladed, and Mushi's now dominating. And Cold Feet will latch, but No Fear cannot go toe-to-toe with that hero. Even without mana, Mushi's still scary with Fiery Souls and the right click that he can do.
Is that G dying like 3 times back-to-back?
Yes.
Back-to-back-to-back. The mid lane, bottom, and now mid lane again. Definitely. Actually, even has 4 deaths. I forgot about the one earlier. So his farm has stopped.
Yeah, and they were farming so well. They got the Blink Dagger, they got the Vanguard, and it's just unfortunate. The first real fight they take with it is not successful. It's just they can't they don't have the damage to kill the Terrorblade at the end of the day.
Both teams smoking up at the same exact time. Yoku not able to get a multiple hero call. The A Blast also not really catching up on anybody. So Fnatic just getting, maybe you could say a little bit lucky, not getting fully jumped on from that, but still like them reading the movement from Friends is really the big thing that's happening right now.
Mech will come out, and the net worth from Fnatic is looking great. You have Ohio who's sitting at 4th. The only person from Friends above him is the Axe, and he still has only that Blink and Vanguard. So Friends have some catching up to do in terms of farm, in terms of CSing, but I think if you're Fnatic, you keep the pressure on. You have the Chen army going down towards bottom. You have the Illusions splitting top and trying to do the best they can. Metamorphosis is back up, like you mentioned. Aegis is ready. It doesn't persist, though, through Aegis now. That is one of the big changes for Metamorphosis and for that hero, so something to keep in mind. Although Yoku and G have been spotted, they'll blink away, make it out in time. Ward is there, so they have vision. Ohio has Chronosphere to counter initiate. I mean, even if they make a go, like that's the thing. If you call even Ohio and you don't burst him down in time, he could still just get that Chronosphere off just as easily. And not to mention all the counter initiation you have from the Lina.
Fnatic now smoke. Not sure if that Dire Ward actually had seen it. It looked like it was very close though.
We'll see. It looks like Friends don't seem to be playing any more cautious than usual. They'll group together at the very least. They might have a smoke of their own.
They scanned. The Dire scan actually caught like everybody on the side of Fnatic there.
Did. How will they use this information? Friends, are they going to just go straight up Wave of Terror, not going to give them any vision or information? And they see maybe the Wild Wing dying, but that's it. 3-4-3 situated behind the tree line, dropping a ward down, tier 2 tower now getting assaulted.
All good for Fnatic though. Like they have it's like a dual core, but it's kind of a tri-core because how farmed Lina is, while Friends kind of has like, it's mostly a single core because the Queen of Pain just slows down so heavily, especially when you die like 4 times into succession like that.
Squad not really getting the timing. Maybe like Ohio is looking for that chrono. He could have time walked and maybe gotten 2 there. Would have been close, but
no backup. They only had the Lina, and he wasn't really that close. They just, I mean, they're getting space.
Tier 3 tower push. Oh man, mid 1. Call will go. I don't know. Yoku, he's got Vanguard. They're gonna pull him back, but he's just dishing out the damage with Dragonlance. Well, that's the illusion now gone. He was sent home, as you can see by DJ, with the Test of Faith. And the Blink Dagger almost done for that Void, so he won't even need to use Time Walk to initiate now.
Now they have another form of initiation that is not the Chronosphere. They have the Yules finished up for Lina. That is going to be extremely useful to set up for kills, as well as to counter initiate if the Axe goes in and doesn't get the call on the Lina. Same thing with the Co-op. You have your own setup, your own potential.
Whew, that graph looks not particularly great for Friends.
Definitely not with the lineup that they have. Well, definitely not with the lineup that they're playing versus.
I talked about the Drow in the late game, but that was, you know, if the Drow actually had a decent amount of farm, and right now she just doesn't have it. You can see Mushi, solo kill, LSA, and there's the Dragon Slave Laguna, see you later. Almost getting, I think, just wiped out by the shockwave.
He's so far up by himself there, though.
Yeah, he was right near that tier 1 tower. You're exactly right. He saw a lot of heroes top, and I understand, but still, the positioning might not have been the best there for Aloha.Dance.
Oh, Blink Dagger now on Ohio.
Yep. Has purchased it. They have vision up there, I don't believe so. There's no observer ward for the Radiant scouting them out. But again, Fnatic. I mean, there's heroes at the tier 1 tower trying to push for friends, and then in top lane, there's just, you have mid one pushing in, and you have to deal with this and always want to fly. It takes a lot of damage. Blanket Chrono finds G. Might be another death for the Queen of Pain, and it looks like it will be. Mushi, he does get called. The Ice Blast will come through. Can they bring him down? They've got the Calling Blade taking a lot of damage. Yoku, I think he's getting time lock procced, and damn, that damage is actually absurd. They bring down 3, and they lose only Mushi at the end of the day. And I think, well, the Witch Doctor Ultimate had a lot to do with it, I believe, in that engagement.
AA gets the kill. 1,000 bounty gold to him.
That's great and all, but he kind of wished maybe G had gotten it. Or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that it matters at this point. You gave up way too much into this game.
DW.
It's looking pretty over, honestly. It looks like Fnatic, if they don't make like heavy mistakes right now, can't really lose this game.
Their initiator is dead. He has buyback, but the glyph has already been used for friends. I mean, you need a massive blink call with maybe a sonic wave and an ancient apparition ice blast. Like Wombo combo seems to me to be one of the only ways back in this game right now. There's so many illusions, as you can see. Mid one is putting pressure.
No risk.
He's just going straight into that range rack to the illusions, and the Ice Blast only hits on the set illusions, and they still lose the range racks. They don't get anything out of it. They don't find a kill. There's no swap back from the Vengeful Spirit. Like, that's it.
A Queen of Pain when you have a Drow Ranger in your lineup, ideally you want to get your Orchid like pre-15 or something, especially with the start that G had. He got kills, he got like a couple kills on the map and everything, but these like 4 deaths back to back to back to back are actually just like screwing his game over, honestly. He doesn't have the Orchid still, he's under-leveled, under-farmed, he can't put the pressure, they don't have the damage, and he's super squishy. He just gets killed off by himself by the other.
I mean, he's the most under-farmed of the 3 cores at this point. Then you have the Drow Ranger, then you have the Axe, and then you have Ohio, who's the next most farmed hero, as he has now the beginnings of a Diffusal Blade, not to mention that he just picked up this Blink Dagger and he has Vlides on top of that. And then, of course, you have Mid one. Mid one's itemization, Dragonlance, Manta style, and a heck of amount of a gold. So I mean, there is at least that Orchid. So
yeah,
that's one thing going.
They're not even gonna be able to. Like, he already has Manta and everything on the TB. Once he gets his Eye of Scotty next, or whatever next item he goes for, they're not even going to clear the illusions properly. It's gonna start getting extremely difficult without blowing hard cooldowns on those illusions.
Smoke up, and historically in this game, friends have not been successful with these. Mushi is in the tree line alongside his pal, Ohio, but he'll walk out. G will scout him out. He's got Orchid, but he can't get it off before the Chrono comes, and there is the Laguna, and he just gets deleted from the game. Yule Scepter will come out to stop Yoku from going any further. No Fear was time dilated as well, and it's just one mistake after another, one death after another, and they might even find more at this point.
I don't even know if that's like too much of a mistake by friends. It's just Fnatic reading the plays, to be honest. They're playing really well.
LSA, No Fear. They don't have the Laguna, but the Dragon Slave will go. Yoku looking for a blink call. It's up in 3, and Battle Hunger, of course. And there's the Gust. Maybe they can do some damage here. The Yule Scepter call. It's not in time. They don't need it anyways.
Mid-Rax, though.
Yeah, he's going to work, and they will take down the melee. I mean, it's a lot of gold, I'm sure. Look how much gold you just got from that Lina. It doesn't matter, though. You lose the mid set of Rax. You're about to lose your tier 3 tower bottom. Yoku's coming in, and he's really the only thing he's the only one that can do anything about this. Swap back in. There's the sounds coming out. Magic. This will come through. The Orchid is there. They should still have Gust. The Sonic Wave's up. He's low, and he gets Thunder off in time. The Gust wasn't there. Mid one call is there. They get off the mech. They have Calling Blade, and he chops him down in time. Ice Blast on Ohio. He'll fall. 3 dead coming up for Fnatic, and it looks like DJ might be next to the chopping block. Aloha.Dance going to work, and he's trying to put down No Fear. He will, but it's still a 4-for-3 exchange. 3-for-3.
Just
gets silenced up. The double shockwaves, not able to do enough damage.
Maledict, though.
Oh, and they might tick down. He's solo. He'll bottle
He's gonna
up,
die.
and he will end up falling. It looks like he's got
Both
no more bottle. Oh, and everyone is dead.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
dies. Every single person on the map ends up going down. And well, at least it benefits friends somehow in that massacre of a team fight, I guess if that's what you want to call it, but...
That's such a cute little ending, though, of that fight. You know, the Witch Doctor and the Chen fighting with the army versus, like, the AA, the Drow, and the Queen of Pain, and they end up killing all 3 of them because of the Maledict. That's... Oh, man. It's like the story of this game, honestly.
It really is. It honestly is. it's like more funny than just.
Well, I mean, looking for us, like just the moments of that, like those can be quite funny. But it's terrible. It sucks for Friends because this is going to be more than likely their exit for this tournament. But they have put up a fight, and I think Fnatic has just been playing really well in this game.
No, you're absolutely right. Friends have played immaculately throughout the entire tournament thus far. The start they had in this game was great, but somewhere along the way, the ball was dropped in one way, shape, or form. It could have been the first initial smoke. It could have been so many other things as well.
Yeah, you did mention that they had some unfortunate smokes throughout the game, and then I mean that mid play really just blew up in their face and turned the whole game around. It was like a small little mistake, but again, it was Fnatic responding properly and just knowing where the plays were going to happen. They've been doing a really good job of reading this game.
So they've lost the set of racks mid. Bottom did take some serious damage with the tier 3 tower going down. Drow Ranger is starting to get some farm, so the game is not necessarily out of Friends' hands just yet, but they have to find some farm. They have to find some more kills, and I don't even know if they have any smokes left. They've been using them so often on the side of Friends, but
it's a little out of control. But yeah, they definitely want Fnatic to be making some nice clumped mistakes.
That would be the dream right now. And well, this is a team Fnatic, of course, top 6 at the Manila Major, on the back, of course, of just some solid team play overall. Mid won stellar performance both in this game and the last. Mushi has, we were questioning, at least I was questioning the lane pick, and he wasn't having the best time in that mid lane, but I mean, as soon as he started getting involved, he got kill after kill after kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like expected to struggle a bit versus Quap with Drow Aura, but he did a good job with his movements, and it's all paid off for him.
Seems like a desperation Roshan attempt at this point, and it looks like Friends needs to back out of the pit right now because guess who's coming? It's pretty much the entirety of Fnatic. Oh my, 343 almost has an entire Aghanim Scepter for the Witch Doctor. And that's a frightening thought, not to mention the fact that you already have 3 extraordinarily farmed cores.
Some luxury, but not only luxury. Friends doesn't really have any ways to stop that Witch Doctor ulti if it does get placed properly.
Swap, maybe Gust, that's like it.
You don't really want to be using swap in those. Gust, yeah, Gust is probably the more ideal, but swapping a Witch Doctor, not really the point of picking Revenge.
No, definitely not the reason you want to use that ability, but
another smoke coming out from Fnatic, who've had actually extremely successful smokes in this series.
Shocking that the team, of course, that's been getting all the kills, that they've been on the receiving end of these bad smokes from Friends, has been getting some good ones going their way. However, Yoku scat out 343, he dodges the cast for the time being. It still will bounce to him, but is back up and he's a little too far away. Chrono comes down, the Ice Blast will come through. There's the Laguna Blade, and it looks like they'll lose both of them immediately. Now blinking forward, G's trying to fight. He'll blow up Ohio at the very least, and Yoku going to work on the DJ, but it's not enough as the Hand of God will come out with the mech on top. Is more than enough to keep them alive. And they're looking for the Yules. He's got a blink ready to go, and he's going to follow right after him, but good Orchid coming out. Still, G trying to juke as best as possible for Mushi. The TP will come through. Yules is ready, and that's what he was waiting for. LSA misses actually coming out, and so the Quap blinks away. But while this is all happening, it doesn't matter. The Rax is being taken. Mid one he's doing objective work. Still, Mushi's found G with another blink forward and LSA, and that Aether Lens paying off for the extra range. And they will have to buy back of the Queen of Pain. Drow has it, but not using it. Still 2 sets of Rax down, Giannis, and it just seems like there's nothing left in the tank for Friends at this point.
No, I don't really think so. Just kind of just continue playing the game, just close it out for themselves though. But they do find a kill on Mushi at least, who's playing extremely aggressively.
That's a lot of gold, I'm sure.
Yeah, 833 for a killing spree.
That's a giant bounty. Yoku will walk up looking for the Terror Blade. Unfortunately, he's reflected and cast up as well. Call comes out, they'll catch 343 silence as well. The mech comes through, and he will drop as well as, of course, Mushi, who dropped earlier on, as you mentioned.
Yeah, now you see them, they're like, okay, come on guys. Like, they kind of reposition themselves a bit there. They're like, all right, let's take it a little easy here. We are feeling very confident, but let's not throw away
I wonder
our huge advantage.
What's the net worth graph looking like, if we can check that
Probably
out.
20k, yeah.
Yeah, that seems about right. 28 minutes into the game, 20k. Honestly, I thought it might be more with how this game has gone, but there have been some solid fights for Friends here and there. They've come few and far between, and they're a little bit too late. But if they can kill mid one, the Orchid's coming out. They get the Gust off as well, but he pops the Manta. He's got Sunder, and he gets sent back as well. There's the Chrono even on top to make sure they save him, but I'll lose DJ on the other side of things as well. So at least they've got 3 now going their way. They're looking for more Ohio's. Time walked out, but
definitely some over-aggression there and some miscommunication. These guys need to just chill out, Fnatic. Come on, guys. Right away there, like it looked like Ohio thought that they kind of wanted to turn with mid one as he was chronoing with the Sunder coming out, while DJ wanted to just reset the whole fight. So just yeah, looked like a little bit of miscommunication there, but they have the leeway to do this for quite a while with the lead that they have.
I mean, the miscommunication led to only 3 kills, and then of course one of the mid one staying alive is the most important thing at this point. Obviously the highest in net worth by a wide margin. Mushi going down, he's died a couple of times recently. He has picked up a Bloodstone, by the way. Ohio going down. Those kills, while important for Friends, it's mid one that's the big bank for Friends to take down. If they can get that Terrorblade, they can get some serious cash, but also just keeping him out of the fight's nice, but he does have a Scotty, so it's even harder now.
I think it's pretty important for Fnatic to play as clean as possible, though. Like, this is a TI team. They're going to TI guaranteed. And these type of situations can happen in TI where you're super leading and you can lose these games. I don't feel like they should be toying around at all. I think they should just play as crisp as possible and just clean the game up without making, with little mistakes as possible. Like Mushi playing so far up there and getting killed was just definitely over-aggression, over-eagerness.
Even with 2 sets of racks in, even if they do take Megas, there's always a possibility. I mean, the game is not over until the GG is called or the throne dies. It's one
super
of those two.
Unlikely, but especially because of the draft that Fnatic has. It's very safe and everything, but still, like, you play your cleanest, you know, your TI team. So
it's just gonna get harder from here, though, for Friends, as the more items are coming out, and they're lacking the map control to farm anywhere. The Witch Doctor now has his Aghanim Scepter. We already talked about the Bloodstone, and it's getting worse and worse, really. There's just nowhere to farm for Friends, and it comes down to them holding another high ground attempt. If you're Fnatic, you could just wait for the next Roche, I suppose, and for the Aegis to go down, which of course is on the Queen of Pain.
They can just wait for the Roche to go down, the Aegis, of course, like we're mentioning. Or, I mean, they can just wait for the 2 side lanes to push in and then make a go. I don't think that they're too afraid of team fighting. They shouldn't be, at least.
I would not be if I was in Fnatic's position.
Yeah. They just need to take the fights properly.
Chrono onto 2, Laguna blows up the Aegis, and, well, Yoku falls next immediately thereafter with the right click coming out from mid one and a Dragon Slave. Death Ward was used, but really didn't do much in that fight, but still always want to fly, getting destroyed by the Mantle Illusions with the Scotty, slowing him down. And it looks like this might be the beginning of the end. The Ice Blast will come in, will not hit anybody. G falls yet again. He has no buyback this time around, and it looks like Aloha Dance is just, he is getting destroyed. It's pretty much just I don't know.
Just overrun completely, honestly.
Shooting fish in a barrel, I suppose, at this point for Fnatic is what it seems like. G is called. Friends had a heck of a run. I mean, you have to applaud how well they did in this tournament, getting to the place they got. But Fnatic do end up 2-0ing the CIS squad.
Yep, Fnatic just looking like their decision-making across the entire series was just better. They made the better ones, and their smokes were better. Them identifying their win condition as well just seemed to be much more on point than the boys from Friends, and just some unfortunate mistakes and stuff happening for Friends there too. That turnaround in mid lane, honestly, like that's pretty much what happened in this game. That mid turnaround was just massive. The Friends were leading by a little bit there, and then it completely turns, like, everything that they did to shut down that Terrorblade was just null from that one little triple kill mid.
If you want to watch the highlights of this game or see where it all went wrong for Friends, I think taking a look at that mid engagement might be your first point to do so, and we might actually look at that with a replay of our own, as we do, of course, have a post-game analysis coming up here. But before we go, of course, it is 2-0 for Fnatic, and Friends do go out of the tournament. They are eliminated. We want to wish them good luck, and of course, thank you for them to play in the tournament as well. We'll jump to a quick break. My name is Mont. With me, of course, is Fogged, and we'll be back with Merlini and Nahaz in just a moment, so stick around.